Hello, my loyal subscribers, and welcome to anybody who's new to this channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about the new moon in Libra that occurred late on Tuesday night, Brisbane time. Please do adjust for your location. Lots of things going on in our universe at the moment. On Thursday, like today, the sun actually moves into Scorpio. So we have this interesting juxtaposition between the Libra new moon and the sun in Scorpio. So Scorpio energy is ruled by Pluto and Mars. It's creative, often hidden behind a strong, quiet exterior. Scorpio is often associated with sex, death, and taxes, the hidden aspects of life. Mars and Mercury are together in Scorpio also at the new moon, suggesting that we can have very creative ideas which we want to manifest. Mars will make us things happen. But it also can mean that we can be subject to the power of others who have strong creative ideas. But maybe because it's Scorpio, we use this energy to dig deep and resolve issues that have been deeply hidden. Just consider as we move towards the full moon in Scorpio around the 5th, 6th of November. The lunar cycle changed last month when we had 2 new moons in one astrological month and is now being experienced in a whole new way until May 2027. And according to Molly McCord, and I do encourage you to have a look on her YouTube channel, she's got interesting things to say often. When the full moon in a sign occurs before the new moon, we can regard the full moon as showing us a new awareness, something we did not previously perceive, that needs to be resolved before the next new moon. The full moon reveals more of what we are designed to feel, our vulnerabilities and our humanness. The energy around us is encouraging us to feel in our hearts rather than just rely on our brains and rational thinking. The moon reflects our emotions. So this new moon in Libra was gathering what has been realized and learned since the full moon 2 weeks ago. So what showed up in your relationships, especially intimate relationships? Have you made adjustments? What else, if anything, do you need to do? Understanding that the adjustments are probably needs to come from within you. So back to the moon, check to see where 28 degrees of Libra falls in your chart. And this is the sector where the emphasis is for you this month. The sun and the moon are creating an out of sign square to Pluto in Aquarius. So the sun and moon are in Libra, but Pluto is in the early stages of Aquarius. So there's what we call an out of sign square. So it's a friction of energies. So it's action. And Pluto is also out of bounds to the south, which I discussed in my August newsletter. I'll just repeat briefly here. So Pluto is out of bounds to the south until 2035. He will go in and out of that boundary for these next 10 years. And in the past, Pluto out of bounds to the south has given us revolutions, reformations, the rising up of the people. Empires have collapsed. There have been revolutions, collaborations, paradigm shifts, and benevolent rulers. This current cycle has evolutionary potential. Maybe the global awakening everybody has predicted. Maybe. Pluto in Aquarius often correlates with Pluto out of bounds to the south. And Pluto is in Aquarius until 2043. Go the people. Pluto's movement around the ecliptic, including the out of bounds times, reflects a cycle of vision, power, justice, and reform. And we're currently in the reform part of the cycle. This all correlates with the imperative to create a new and wholesome vision for ourselves and humanity. We are the people. We are not going to be controlled by others who may not have our best interests in mind. So this week, with the square relationship between Pluto and the Sun Moon, we may experience issues of power and control. The old guard is wanting to hang on to power and control. The people are wanting to take their power back. I like to believe that the out of bounds Pluto and the fact that it is in Aquarius puts the power balance right into the hands of the people. This new moon is also in a square relationship to Jupiter, representing issues in the legal sphere and issues of equality or excessive power. Again, this power thing comes up. And this week, the tensions are likely to be quite significant. Just notice what happens. Make wise choices. And I encourage you to support people power. Now, I want to talk about Three-Eye Atlas. You may or may not have heard of this, this body that's circulating um, in our global awareness. And for several months, there has been an awareness of the approach of an extraterrestrial body, Three-Eye Atlas, towards the Earth. The scientists are unsure about how to describe this object. It's not a comet, but what is it? You may not have heard about it from mainstream media, and I understand there's a news block on it about it in a number of countries. I suspect there will be those who wish to engender fear with this information. The information I'm accessing suggests that it is a large mass of rocks and other materials. There is no expectation that it will impact the Earth physically, but these objects all carry energy of some sort. And given that we are currently experiencing so many planetary changes, and many believe our vibrations are increasing, I prefer to perceive this object as one of positive energetic influence, one that assists us positively in our spiritual and earthly journeys. So I've put, as in the notes below, I've put a connection to Stefan Burns' YouTube, which talks a bit about this. And according to Stefan, at the same time as this Three-Eye Atlas approaches the Earth, there is a series of 6 comets entering our galaxy. And this is a very rare phenomenon. Comet R2 Swan will come closest to the Earth on the 21st. That was a couple of days ago. At this time, the Sun, the Earth, and Three-Eye Atlas were all in a line in the heavens. So telescopes were unable to actually see Three-Eye Atlas for a little while. But at the very least, I'm told we can expect increased electromagnetic volatility, increased seismic and solar activity. Make sure you back up your devices and be patient. The world can't function anymore without the internet. Be aware also of unwanted energy in the form of WhatsApp or any other messages emanating from unknown sources. As always, if you're not sure, or if the sender is unknown to you, do not open the message. Just delete it. If someone really wants to connect with you, they will find a way. Better to be uninformed than have a cyber attack on your personal devices. Very difficult to unravel. The softer, more beneficial energy appears in a grand trine in water signs between Jupiter in Cancer, Saturn, Neptune in Pisces, and Mercury, Mars in Scorpio. Water signs have a strong emotional energy. So this is an invitation to examine how you feel about what's going on. Listen to your inner voice. Time for quiet time and meditation. Be outside in nature and connect with who you really are. You have control over your decisions and about how you react to what occurs around you. Now, women in business. Many moons ago, a long time ago, I completed a Master of Business Administration at Melbourne University. I was one of the early women graduates, but then I went on and had a baby and was not seen to be using the MBA education. What a waste. No, not for me. Whatever the opinion of the Melbourne Business School, I valued that education because if nothing else, it gave me the professional and personal confidence, and it provided education in the ways that the boys play their corporate games. We still live in a world governed by male energy, and while that is slowly changing as women gain and step into their power, progress is very slow. When in Melbourne recently, I attended a women's dinner organised by the business school. And it was wonderful to connect with some girls I had not seen for a long time, who have forged successful professional careers, and to meet with some younger, vibrant, and intelligent women making their way in the corporate world. The keynote address was about empathy in the workforce and how it can positively affect relationships, Libra energy, in the workplace and therefore commercial results. Are you still in the workforce? Are you aware of consciously working with empathy in your workplace? As women, we can support and educate our male colleagues to engage with their innate empathy. My astrological friend Jacqueline McLeod has written an interesting book about balancing feminine and masculine energy, inverted commas. With compassion and humour, Jacqueline demonstrates how women and men alike can become better versions of themselves by valuing and respecting their feminine energies to the same level as their masculine energies. Check your online bookstore for your copy. It's a very interesting read. And maybe she's a bit before her time, but she's got some really lovely ideas. So how much has changed in 40 years? Well, there are more women in positions of power and influence, but there is room for many more in the middle management positions in particular. But the question I pose is about whether we need to still embrace that model of business, that male model of business, or whether with female energy we can create a better model that supports both men and women and the business objective. What do you think? I went to a gold conference. Now, what's an astrologer doing at a gold conference? Well, astrologers are not just astrologers, you know. So the following week, I went to Sydney to the gold conference conducted by an amazing and beautiful woman, Kerry Stevenson, and I put her connections down below as well. It is wonderful that she's able to gather together the gold tribe, which is so masculine, and successfully provide an informative and interesting program for folk both within and without the mining industry. And here is a successful woman in her business. Kerry has a channel on YouTube. It's called Making Money Matter. You might be interested. My friend Jane came with me and we both learned heaps, talked to many interesting people, and had a wonderful and exhausting few days. From an astrological perspective, Australia has the potential to leverage her huge mineral resources. Gold is just but one of those. The planetary alignments suggest that we are all placed to benefit from increased resources activity in the coming years. This industry is cyclical, but it does appear to be on the rise. But, you know, despite attempting to increase my education relating to share investing with the GAN trading course that I did earlier the year, I still cannot be confident in these decisions. So it's now time to study more of what I've learned and try to apply the learning. Easier said than done, you know, when I'd rather be outside talking to the birds. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and if you're choosing to invest in gold or any other commodity, please do your own research. And if Gold Conference interests you, Kerry is conducting another such event on the Gold Coast in March next year. Now, family connections. The main purpose of my trip to Melbourne was to connect with my family. My cousin was celebrating a milestone birthday, and it was a good time to work on my relationships with my gorgeous grandsons, 9 and 6. As it was still school holidays, I took them to the Royal Melbourne Show, once a favourite activity for me. We went early and checked out the cattle, the horses, the dogs, the poultry, helped shear a sheep using the old-fashioned clippers, and inevitably checked out the entertainment. The highlight was the ride on the roller coaster. Woohoo! Go, Granny. Life for all of us at the moment is a bit of a roller coaster. There are so many energies impacting the earth and her dwellers. Remember that we all have the resources we need inside ourselves. So when confused, take time out, preferably in nature, and just try and connect with your inner self for direction. Scorpio energy will support you to dig deep and identify what's important to you. So enjoy this new moon, Libra energy that happened a couple of days ago and the subsequent Scorpio energies as we journey through transformation together. That's all for now, folk. Have a wonderful month. Until next time. Bye for now.